Hey guys, and welcome back. In this video, we will wrap up our first multiplayer game by just adding a couple of final touches. I want to start off by showing you how you can add some particle effects to juice up your game and just make everything feel more alive and exciting. So I went ahead and made this simple blood particle effect using Unity's particle system. So take your time and have fun tweaking all these settings until you come up with something that you like. Once you're done, let's create a new folder called Particles. Now we can just drag and drop our blood particle effect into this folder to turn it into a prefab. Now we can safely delete it from our scene. So in this example, let's spawn this particle effect once we kill an enemy. To do so, I'll jump inside of my enemy script. Let's start off by creating a public GameObject variable called defFX that will of course store our particle effects. Now let's come down to the line of code where our enemy dies. We basically want to spawn our particle effect right above this line. So we've got two options to spawn incorrectly this particle effect. Either we use the photon network.instantiate function, and so we'll need to add the particle effect to the resources folder and add a photon view component to it. Or we can call a RPC function and then just use the normal Unity instantiates inside of it. So I'll go with option number 2. I'll create a photon view variable that I'll call view. Then inside of the start function, I'll set it equal to the photon view component that is attached to our enemy. Now that we have access to that, we could come above the line where we are destroying the enemy, and we will say view.rpc spawn particle rpc target.all. So now let's come down here and we'll make this void spawn particle function, and we will of course add the pun RPC tag to it. In here we can now just call the instantiate function. So we want to instantiate our defFX at the enemy's current position, so transform.position, and with no rotation, so quaternion.identity. Alright, so to quickly recap, whenever our enemy gets hit by an object that has a golden ray tag attached to it, right before destroying the enemy, we're calling a RPC function. This RPC simply instantiates our particle effect at our enemy's position. And remember, we are allowed to use the simple instantiate function because we're calling it from a RPC, which already synchronizes it. If you didn't have a RPC, you would have to use the photon network.instantiate function instead. Alright, so with the script nicely saved, we can go back to Unity. Let's now select our enemy prefab and let's drag and drop our blood particle effect into the slots. Okay, so if you now build a game and test it out, you'll see that a juicy blood particle effect gets beautifully spawned each time we destroy an enemy. Great work! I'm now going to show you how you can easily add some sound effects to your game to give it that extra pop. So I've got this cool little blood sound effect inside of a sounds folder. There are tons of places where you can get some great sound effects for your games. Freesound.org is a cool website where you can find some great ones for free, or if you have a little bit of money, there are some amazing asset packs that you can download with hundreds of sound effects in them. It's a great investment. You can also just use a microphone and make some noises and then edit them inside of Audacity. Alright, now I'll add to my blood particle effect a audio source component to it. Then I'll just drag and drop my audio clip onto the slot. Make sure that Play on Awake is selected so that as soon as this particle effect gets spawned, the sound effect will play immediately. And there we go, it's as simple as that. Okay, let's build our game one final time by pressing Ctrl B or Command B if you're on the Mac. Alright, as you saw, the sound effect is working great. So I encourage you to take the time and add particle effects wherever you can. So maybe when a player dashes or when he takes damage, for example. And then add sound effects onto those particles to give even more life to your game. You can also maybe find a nice background soundtrack for your game. The possibilities are endless. But don't rush this process. These small finishing touches can really turn your game from being okay to being great. Anyways, a huge congratulations on finishing Golden Ray. You can be proud of yourself.